Is this going live?
No, it's 5:57.
No, I think it went live. Breeze Nation, what is good? It's your boy, super producer Joel Holt, coming at you. We got the skeleton crew today. It's me and the Drew Daddy in the building, a.k.a. Drewskis. Pat calls him all the other stuff, but I'm just calling him Drew. You guys know him and love him. What's good? We got a fun-packed show coming on for you today. Also, remember to,
Like, share, subscribe.
Leave a 5-star review. You know what to do. What is happening, everybody? Let's get into this show. Let me see. Let me bring up what our topics are today. So as we get into it, let me see. Pull this up. It's always fun when I got to run all the controls, minus my right hand man there. So real quick, Ian Cunningham, ramifications if he possibly leaves for the Jaguars job. The Bears coaching staff spoke today, and then we have a Breeze discussion about a projected online rebuild and how we would like to see that happen in this upcoming offseason. Also, shout out to the Breeze Nation. Who was number one? I saw my man Crimson You Dig in the building. We had Raymond Bennett number 2. Noah P035 saying bear the FU down. Daryl Davis says, what's up, bear down. We got Eric with his proposed draft of a whole bunch of looks like linemen. No, some defensive ends and stuff like that. Jay Grizz in the building. Eric in the building. Moises Chacon in the building. Chef Mac, Oscar Guerrero, Chrissy Cross 94, Kim Burke, Jay Capone, the Don, Keith Huggins, Noah P, and the Commish as we get this show started. So let's get into it, man. Drew, how you doing today, man?
I'm good with all this rain, though, but it's better than that cold we was dealing with last few weeks.
Yeah, no, it was definitely one of these overcasty kind of, like yesterday was the same weather, but
yeah, but
like,
it was sunny.
It's like, what is, without the sun and then the moisture coming in with the rain out here in Chicago. How's everybody else out in your neck of the woods? I know Crimson's out there in Washington or Seattle. What's the weather like out for everybody else everywhere else? Anybody else got some good weather to bring us in Chicago? While we discuss that, let's go ahead and pull up our first topic as we go into the first discussion, which is Mr. Ian Cunningham. And basically, he's supposed to be the front runner to be the possible Jaguars GM.
Why is that?
Well, apparently he's done well enough. I mean, with hanging out with Ryan Poles, and I guess he's done a few things to get that kind of notification or that notoriety. So my thing is this. According to Bears Wire, he's the leading candidate, but he's worth possibly could get us 2 third-round picks. That's a 2025 third round. That's this year's third round and next year's third round. How do you feel about if he was to leave? Like, do we know if Ian's really doing great stuff that he needs to stay?
I don't really know, because Poles was getting all the praise and the criticism, but he's got a team, so he's got to listen to his team at the same time. But for 2 third-round picks, get him out of here.
Yeah. Let me see. Did I do this right? Let me make sure I went live. Do I go? I don't know if I did this right for stream.
You live.
It says
I'm looking at you.
Yeah, but it says it's scheduled here, so I think I got to go live there and then not play the intro.
The chat saying we live.
I think I did that right. So Twitter's in there. Boom. There we go. Okay. Sorry, guys. Let's get back. Actually, and real quick, we'll circle back to our Breeze Nation. We got Prosper, Texas from Chaz Hammer. The commission says it's sunny here, about 52 degrees. We're chilling in Austin. Keith Huggins is chilling in Austin. Alejandro Renta says he finally caught a live. Appreciate you. From the North Austin, Texas area. Crimson says 42 degrees out there. And I'll definitely try to talk to Mike. Thank you, Chicago. KJ, Chicago Rilla. So Hank Bowles is like, keep those comp picks. For me, I'm like.
Hey, they good for packaging.
Hey, I'm like, it was nice knowing you, dog.
Like I said, we can take them, use them, package them up.
Give me those picks, man.
Get those extra picks that we need in the first round.
Give me those picks. Springfield, Massachusetts said 32 degrees out there. We got people out nationwide, man. We nationwide. I'm so proud of this, man. We're up to like 45,000 subscribers. We just hit crack 45, I think, today.
Oh, that's what's up.
That's awesome, man. We might have to do a 50K party, man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, come on,
Appreciate
get the likes up. Get the likes up. Oh, by the way, we got over 100 in the chat.
100.
We got 100. You're not doing your job, man.
Hey, man, I was looking down, bro.
100.
Excuse me, you shocked me with it. I wasn't ready.
Actually, I'm correct. Let me break this down real quick as we still continue this conversation. We got okay, so it's like 90 on YouTube and 23 on.
The one that got shot says, "Man, what do you rate the Bears coaching hire?" I give them an 8.
We'll get to that.
I think they did a real good job filling out the staff.
We can circle back to that one. I mean, for right now, I like where we're going with the coaching hires. But I think the thing is like with Ian Cunningham going, if there's an opportunity to pick up an extra third-round pick, you can get a starter. Now, again, do we necessarily know what the impact of Ian Cunningham is? Is he as necessary? Because if we have a competent front office staff, competent coaching staff, I mean, having Dennis Allen as an ex-head coach, having Ben Johnson, who's going to probably have more input about what he wants for his scheme. I don't know how much of that does Ian Cunningham have. Does he actually help out more so in the scouting department? Does he help out with more of the franchise in terms of the day-to-day stuff? Because when you're the GM, it's pro personnel that you got to look into. It's director college scouting. You get to report to those guys. It's also the facilities. It's also upgrading contracts for equipment for your facility-based things. It could be like the field, stuff like that.
I did, but with Poles being a first-time GM, and he was a first-time assistant GM too, if I wasn't mistaken, how much delegation did he give his assistant? Maybe he was more of like a middleman where Poles was tell him what to do kind of guy. So therefore, it doesn't, when he leaves or if he does leave, it's not a huge drop-off in what we're starting to build.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I like. Look, this to me, man, I think with Kevin Warren doing what he did, Kevin Warren gets a ton of credit for where this team is going. I think if he put his foot down and said, get these bums out of here, let's get some coaches in here. We got to spend the money to get the real talent. He said, look, I won in St. Louis. We won a Super Bowl. You have to have the coaching staff. You have to have all these things. So I don't know if Ian Cunningham, maybe at this juncture as Ryan Poles was learning how to be a GM, right? Because he definitely got his hands smacked. He got
checked a little bit.
He got, but he's learning from that. You got other people in the room, and I think that Ben Johnson commands more that you may not need. I mean, I can't speak to what Ian actually does day to day, but it sounds like with this coaching staff in place, they might actually have more input to help with making decisions when it comes to pro personnel, when it comes to scouting for players, because they're going to say, I need this type of guy. I need this kind of lineman. I'm going to need this DB. I'm going to need this defensive lineman for my schemes. And so, and that they command the respect because we got some serious coaches in here, especially with the Dennis Allen hire.
Yeah, I agree with you that you don't know what he does day to day, but I don't think that giving Poles is, like I said, his, newness to the position himself, and he's a few years in, that he would have delegated that much task to him that can't be replaced or shuffled throughout the remaining people on the management staff.
Yeah. Who was that? Keith Huggins said latest rumor was that Ian and the Jags negotiating over personnel control over the Duval head coach. That was so cringy, man. Duval. No, he was like Duval.
Hey, his face was terrible. His face was terrible.
You know that remind me of, you ever see Howard Stern, that movie, and they were like, say CNBC, CNBC. So he called him pig vomit.
hey, it was bad, but they say he was trying to imitate what old boy from Detroit did.
Yeah, it was Duval. Yeah. It was, that was, Duval and the whole thing. Now we'll just be nice about it. It's a culture inappropriation right there, but it is what it is. I think Crimson said, "Will we get that pick in 2026? When we will get 2 third-round picks, 2025 third round this year, and next year's third round 2026 pick as well." So to me, I think that selfishly, give me more picks so I can continue to build my lineup. So that gives me a first round. the 10th pick, 2 second-rounders, 2 third-rounders, and then we got a 4th, 5th, and the rest of the picks from there. So I'm all for that.
We still got our compensatory pick for Fields too. So we got our full gamut of picks. I'll take it.
Yeah, no, give me more picks, and hopefully, this is the thing. We don't know who's the one actually picking. Some of the linemen that we had. Now, I'm giving Poles credit for some of the guys that he's picked. Technically, we got Darnell Wright. Okay, he's a first-round starter that hasn't been hurt without a bad back.
He's 1 for 3 on drafting linemen.
Braxton Jones was a 5th-round pick who's a starting left tackle from the 5th round. He's good. His grade was never first round, so he's serviceable.
I hear you. I'll tell you why I want him when we get to our third topic.
Yeah. Crimson over here, that's my man Crimson. He said, I know if Keenan leaves, we get the comp in 2026. Yeah, that's definitely true that there's another compensatory pick if Keenan Allen leaves. But I thought we'd get a pick this year. If it's next year, then fine. Which is great. I mean, we get another compensatory pick. We're going to need it. Lord knows we need to draft more talent and build up the talent on this team. I mean, with that, I guess we can move on to the next topic.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll just close this one out. But, I mean, selfishly, I'm fine with him leaving. Now, we don't know if we get they just said that he is a leading candidate. He's one of the candidates for the Jaguars job. So, I appreciate all his efforts and everything he's done for what we've gotten here so far.
We started we started from the bottom. Now we up. Now we're coming up. We started with him. He's, like I said, he's a first-time assistant GM too.
Yeah.
And therefore he honed his craft a little bit. That's why he's actually getting looked at the Jaguars job. So obviously he has
done something
skill,
right.
He done something right. He's got some skill that he's improved the Bears with, and hopefully if he does leave, the pick that we get will, offset the loss in management. Technically,
it's a win-win, right? If he left a mark that helps out the team, and then he leaves, so it's good to know that you had good personnel that developed. And then on top of that, now we also get some picks, so it helps. Yeah, I think it benefits all the way around.
Because when is the last time someone wanted someone out of our front office?
No. No, we typically fire them all.
I've been Bears for a long time. I don't remember.
We typically fire all of them.
Right. I don't remember anybody wanted anybody from our front office.
No, you know what? No. Ballard. Ballard from.
We got him from Indianapolis, I thought.
No, he worked here and went to Indianapolis. He wanted to come back and be the GM. Ballard? Scott Ballard? The nation knows. The nation knows everything. Is it Scott? No, what's his name? He's the GM for the Colts. But he wanted to be. He was here, and I'm trying to think who else was anybody else notable, in terms of just wanting to be promoted. I can't think of anybody else.
No, that's what I said. Nobody really wants our front office.
Is it Scott Ballard? It's something Ballard.
Chris.
There you go. Thanks, Rayco. So we can go ahead and move on to the next topic. As we go into the Bears that introduced the new coaches to the media today. We had a chance to listen to Declan Doyle. I got that right. Declan.
Double D's.
And yeah. Okay. All right. I see where you're going there. I like some good double D's there. And Richard Hightower spoke, as well as Dennis Allen, the main headliner of all the coaches that spoke today. Also, while we're at it, I think there was some breaking news that there was a defensive line coach was hired today. According to Aaron Wilson, the defensive line, the Bears are going to sign Bill Johnson. He coached the XFL Roughnecks. He also coached for the Saints, the Broncos, the Rams, the Falcons, the Razorbacks, Aggie football, LSU. So he seems to definitely have some history. But it sounds like we're getting a lot of Saints players, and I'm fine with it. It's all the ones that were winning. So I'll take the winning Saints people that come over here, so the derivatives. So I don't know if you had a chance to, if anybody listened, but I had a chance to listen to all three of them. I mean, most of it is they're all coached very well. We are here to do the bidding of Ben Johnson. We are here. Yes, we're coached to do the bidding of Ben Johnson. That's all they would ask him, all that type of stuff. But, with Dennis Allen, what I like the most about Dennis Allen is that we're getting an aggressive defense back. Oh, Oh, that just gets.
No, that's when you're supposed to hit hallelujah.
Okay. We're getting a real defense. Now, mind you, I don't want everybody to come back at me that I didn't like the cover 2. I was fine with the cover 2.
The cover 2 was the bend.
It's a bend don't break. We've seen it dominate. I knew that what we were getting. Okay, I can be happy because I've seen it win. But we're getting aggressive defense back, people.
I think not since like what 05?
Since 01.
01.
We're talking about the big jumbos like Ted Washington and Keith Traylor and blitzing linebackers that sack people.
Yeah, we had a Goulier back then.
Oh my God! Like they're gonna go after the quarterback. You know, and he said that he likes our secondary. They like Kyler Gordon. They like that we have the pieces in place. We're talking about doing more man coverage. And, I mean, I'm not going to say that they're going to go back to, like, the old Greg Blanche type of defense, but it's the derivative of Greg Williams, who was a killer defensive coordinator. That dude's coming after you. They going to – hey, you talk about engage 8, kill the quarterback.
Quarterback's dead.
Get that quarterback. Like, I'm happy with that. And just to see if he said they got a lot of bones on the team in terms of defensive linemen. But of course, they're going to need a couple pieces. But that's based off what he was saying. I mean, he's not going to tell you a bunch of things, but we know for the most part what we got out of it was that we're going to have an aggressive defense. And for the most part, if it reminds me of Brian Flores and what he did with Minnesota, like that's an aggressive attacking defense, you know, heavy on the D-line. So, you know, maybe you end up keeping, you know, I think we talked about this before. I mean, you have Sweat, but, you know, does Dexter become basically like an under tackle? But you might need another big defensive tackle. Before you needed lighter guys to run the D-line on the cover on the Tampa 2.
Right. So for me, aggressive defense is definitely going to eliminate a lot of those blunders that we had, especially like the Hail Mary, where you decided to go back in zone.
Yeah.
And instead of, you know, chasing the quarterback down, making him make fast, accurate reads, now we have somebody that's going to come in and potentially, you know, make the guy in a frizzy. Like the cover 2, yeah, I said it was cool. It made mediocre quarterbacks bad. But if you were a good quarterback, you knew where the holes were, and you could hit the holes, flag on the play, all the time. You know, it
depends on what hole. It depends on hole. Sometimes it could be
exactly,
actually
because you look at Aaron Rodgers used to kill the Bears in that cover 2 with the slant. It was open every time.
Open every time. There you go.
Right. All the time with that. So I like it, and you're right. It does change the defensive line. Our depth right now, you might move, you know, some guys in the inside, and some guys are going to become pass rush specialists instead of every down lineman. Yeah.
Well, I think too, it's like does Dexter shift to more of a big defensive end? Because when I think about, I remember like Philip Daniels was a big 6'4" whatever defensive end.
Yeah.
No, on the Bears, Philip Daniels.
Oh, you talking about that Daniels?
Yeah, like back. I'm talking about like 01, 02. That big line back then was like Traylor Washington, Philip Daniels, and I can't remember the other defensive end. Later on, I swear we drafted Alex Smith, but I feel like he came a little bit later.
You mean Alex Brown?
Alex Brown, right. But larger defensive ends to create havoc, but your linebackers now become more of a threat. So instead of them going into coverage, because that's kind of what you brought Tremaine Edmonds to do, kind of in that Urlachery kind of who was I forgot the Tampa Bay linebacker that was the
Brooks.
Yeah, Derek Brooks kind of role of, you know, coverage, because that was the whole point. If the 4 linemen come and create the pressure and they're that dominant, then it means that everybody else can cover everybody else, and now there's windows that they can just dominate or passing lanes to disrupt. But
it was easy to blitz because you had those guys that required double teams.
Yeah.
And so therefore it freed up the linebackers to blitz. And then that's when you were able to do safety blitz more and put your linebackers in short coverage situations.
Well, actually, and the thing is with the 3 technique, his job is to disrupt, you know, I think the A gap and then come in there. So either he's disrupting the whole line because he's that disruptive of a player. So for Dennis Allen to come here, you know, he has the experience. They said for Ben Johnson to come, you know, talk to him if he needs anything in terms of just he can give him some, guidance if he needs it.
Former coach.
Yeah, he's a former head coach, which is great. I mean, I think what the Bears have done is very smart. Or what Ben Johnson, to me, has done is smart. Because, I'm not going to lie. I said, I'd rather have Mike McCarthy because I didn't know what Ben Johnson was going to do. I did say, though, if we did get Ben Johnson.
You worry about the staff.
But I said if we're bringing in all rookie head coach with a rookie this and a rookie this and a rookie, I don't want that. But if you did bring in an experienced DC, cool. I didn't know Dennis Allen was going to be a guy that would be available like that.
Nobody did.
So it's like, this is great. So to get that in the room, and then Declan Doyle, I mean, to me, I ain't going to lie, dog. I'm like, this dude's the gopher. His job, my job is to get the stuff. I'm like, go get the pencils. Go get the coffee.
No, his job is to better our tight ends play because he was a former tight ends coach in Denver.
No, he's the OC.
I know, but he's going to work with the tight ends along with our tight ends coach and learn from the OC.
No.
So just in case this here, he's coming in as a fresh face, semi-gopher, but is going to actually learn something and help out with grooming. He's going to be a groomer. Watch.
No, this dude is literally got – I wish I could be Ben Johnson's OC. No, I mean, to be fair, the guy's 28 years old. He explained how he basically came, got in coaching. I think it was Iowa, and then he was able to jump or go to a team. Like he went and he was able to get on and basically go to like OTAs or something. And then he kind of worked his way up from the bottom, but he started off at Iowa. And then he's basically heralded as a up and coming genius kind of coach. Very knowledgeable. It seems like he's really disciplined, and he seems to, as for him to be 28. He said this is the first year where I was older than the players in last year in Denver.
May I put a little tidbit out there?
Okay,
that
with
him being a little bit younger allows him to stick around for a while and not be immediately eligible and wanting to leave.
Nah.
Yes, because he's got to take some time to get his ropes, get his feet under, learn the ropes of being an offensive coordinator. So we probably going to get him for at least 3 to 4 years before he's ready to go and leave.
But he's not calling plays. It doesn't matter. Like,
I know, that's what I'm saying. He's going to be here for a while.
Yeah, I mean, the way this team, this coaching staff is set up, that these guys could be here for a while. Because they asked Dennis Allen, like, do you plan on, what's your thoughts of leaving or going, since you were head coach? He's like, look, my job is to make sure that Ben Johnson's good. He's very diplomatic. Of course, if you get offered to be a head coach, I mean, I guesstimate that Dennis Allen is probably he might be making like $9-10 million as a DC, because I think Eberflus was like 8. Yeah. I think Ben Johnson's probably like 15.
No, they didn't say that, but it could be though.
I'm saying I think I'm guesstimating based off, because they don't really they kind of hide. I don't know why they want to sit there and hide all that coaches' salaries, but. With Declan Doyle, I mean, the thing is that if it's another bright young man, if this is a Mike McDaniel type of dude that gets to work under, Ben Johnson, if Ben Johnson can actually create a new tree here, like how Andy Reid created a tree, but he came under Holmgren, how Shanahan had his tree. Actually, his daddy had the tree. It was Kyle, McDaniel, LaFleur, McVay, all these guys, and what's the dude that's the head coach for Atlanta? All of them were under Shanahan in Washington.
And that's why I said with Doyle coming in, that means that he's going to stay for a while. Therefore, then he creates his tree. So it's an interesting hire, but I see the benefits of such an interesting hire.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's but with Declan Doyle, I mean, to me, again, a lot of this. Dennis Allen moves the needle for me with all this type of stuff. But my point is just like, look, until it gets to, the preseason and the regular season one, this is all great. I like winning the offseason. Feels great. I do think that this is from what we've never seen this. We've never seen bringing in the top candidate, the number one consensus candidate of coaching that actually we beat out other teams to get. We haven't seen it where I mean, we have seen a prime to DC come here. Vic Fangio came here with a lot of fanfare.
Ooh.
And, that was always good. I mean, but other guys that we've had were kind of like unknowns and worked their way up. So, Dennis Allen's the closest to another experienced coach that we brought in. And then, Richard Hightower spoke. And I don't want to be mean, but, I crack up where it's like, did you know you're going to still be here? And then my theory is that, look, it's special teams. There's only so much you're going to do. There's not a lot of excitement. They've taken all the excitement out of special teams. The NFL did. Just watch the room.
I know special teams is one of those things that it's an additive. It's not going to be the basis of the game, but it can help out in wins and losses. A block kick is an extra possession.
Yeah.
A good run back is an extra a percentage for you getting some scores and winning the game. So it's not a huge thing, but a special team coach is key because as we see, special teams can lose you the game very easily.
Yes, you're 100% right. I was being facetious about Richard Hightower. Like, it's cheaper to keep him than to move on from him.
I'm gonna say keep him. He did a decent job. So he didn't lose you one.
I don't know. I mean, there's a couple field goals that got blocked, or a field. There's a couple scenarios where something didn't get done right. Now, I'm not gonna beat him up. For the most part, the team fell apart towards the end of the year. But what I did like what he said is that Ben Johnson is going to be aggressive. Sounds like Dennis Allen is going to be aggressive, and that Richard Hightower wants to be aggressive, and that he likes that. So he's excited to be able to do that. So it's fine with me if everybody's aligned, and if that means that, I think Pat was saying it's like, Richard Hightower can only do what he could do. If you're forcing me to have Velus Jones on the field, I can't do nothing with this guy. He keeps fumbling the ball. If you're forcing me to if you're signing bum linemen that can't block, there's nothing I can do. Now, apparently we were top 5 in terms of the special teams. And then also another situation was that, our punting. Our punting was really good.
Yeah, let's think. Was that the fake Legatron did get down a little bit.
I'm just saying. I mean, we had a lot of a lot of punts. Chris Rayco says Santos is the most accurate field goal kicker in Bears history with an overall accuracy of 90.4%, and it was 7 50-plus yard makes. And
under 50, he's almost automatic.
Yeah, but I'm good with the kicker. The thing is, if you have to rely on the kicker,
you're losing.
Right. That means you couldn't move down to the red zone. That means you couldn't get things happening. If I need you to kick 50 and 40-yard field goals, they're not doing a great job. We need to pull that up. How many times did the Lions kick field goals last year? You know what I'm saying?
The last couple of years, they didn't kick many.
Clearly field goals matter in the 20 and the 30-yarders and stuff. You get stuck. I get that. But, like, if you can't move your team down the field, that's what – it is what it is. V-Dog said, what's up, Joel Drew? I'm not worried about the defense. Dennis Allen's the most experienced DC we had since Vic Fangio, and I love the fact that he'll be multiple and disguise a lot instead of being stale. I agree with you wholeheartily, my guy. Jay Grizz.
Some exotic blitzes, though. I do remember that from the Saints. They had some decent blitzes out there.
I like exotic stuff, man. Yeah. Jay Grizz over there saying that he heard about the Ravens kicker, Justin Tucker, being a little naughty, hanging out with Deshaun Watson at the massage parlors. Yeah, a little rub and tug, I guess, going on.
Exactly. There were some rumors that some inappropriate behaviors going on.
My goodness.
And of course, it comes out after the statute of limitations. So is this truth or this?
No, I don't know. Statute of limitations lasts forever, man.
No, not on inappropriate behavior. There's a lot. The only
I don't know.
Today is the other one.
Well, you know what? This new president administration, I don't know what's going on nowadays. But yeah, I the coaching staff. I mean, I'm encouraged. Overall, I'm encouraged. I give him. I'm gonna give him an A.
That's a long thought process.
I'm gonna give him an A. Like I didn't like Eberflus when we hired. I knew I didn't like him. I'm like, he's not what we need. He's not what we need. Why would you hire a DC? Even when we have Fields, it's like we need offensive support. And if somebody comes here and actually does well and leave, we didn't get what he needed to do the job. Now you got a head coach with an offense that he's bringing a top 5 offense in the last 5 years or 4 years, and it's his system. It's not going anywhere unless he leaves.
Well,
So I like that. Smart. We hired an experienced DC. We got two assistant head coaches to go along with that. So he's bringing in an experienced squad. So I'm going to give him a positive grade for that.
yeah, I know, but you just took a long time for it, so I expected.
I didn't expect you to ask me that question.
Expeditiously response. That's what I thought. But yeah, I'm with you. I give him a very high grade. I want to say definitely an A, based upon him filling out his staff, like you said, with ex-head coaches and people with a lot of leadership that can help him in situations where he's kind of green to the situation. You know, green to certain when to go for it, when not to go for it. He did learn a lot from Dan Campbell, but this ain't the Lions. Therefore, he needed some help when he's here to make in-game situation adjustments and so forth.
Well, I think it's more about he's going to call the game how he's going to call it versus how Dan Campbell did it. But I don't think it's not necessarily like, Dennis, what do I do? What do I do? It's more about the preparation that leads up to it. So by the time you're playing the game, I'm sure that Ben Johnson has command of a game, right? The other issue is like, will he have it scripted for the first 15 or 20 plays and actually have a prepared game plan? So hiring Dennis Allen means I don't have to go down to the other side of the room and tell him what to do. He's going to give me an update. I don't need to necessarily be there because I got a guy that actually can run stuff. We got a super chat from an SRO from Chicago. Shout out to my guy. Appreciate you. He said, just joined the stream. Not sure if y'all already spoke about it, but definitely looking forward to JF1 coming back to the Shy next season with Pittsburgh. You're saying as if they re-sign him. I appreciate you, man. That would be crazy.
Hey, that is supposedly that when I was watching the ESPN the last few days, there is it's definite that they said they're bringing back one of the two of them, and they're leaning toward Fields because he's a little bit younger, because they saw what Russell did and how he capped out. So they're like, we have here with Fields, we know this, but our running game is so much better with Fields, and we can get him another wide receiver to make it a little bit easier. So that's crazy if he come back as a Pittsburgh quarterback.
I mean, technically, I think the thing is the NFL needs quarterbacks. I personally just take away Justin Fields or whatever. I'd like to see that we get quarterback play, period. I'd like to see him get better as a quarterback. I'm not necessarily mad that we moved on from him. I mean, technically, it looks good. We won in terms of getting our guy, because that's the thing. Caleb Williams brought Ben Johnson. Declan Doyle was like, the guy's got talent.
Yeah.
The guy he's talented.
He is.
So, like, there's a reason they came here. Like, you come here when you have a quarterback. So, according to Pittsburgh, I mean, they say that the Art Rooney, I think the second, I think it was Art Rooney the second. Definitely was Rooney. He's saying that he preferred either one of them be re-signed.
Yeah. He said one or two of them, definitely.
Shady was cooking Justin Fields. Oh, my God. He's like, that dude is not good. Justin Fields is terrible. He is not a good quarterback. He sucks. Everybody, they felt like they're on the facility. They feel like, they should re-sign Russell Wilson. He's been there. None of them are going to lead you to a Super Bowl, but you have a better chance with Russ than you do with Fields.
Like I said, we're not going to get too deep into it, but yeah, I agree with you. Fields is a good quarterback, but he had his limitations.
Yeah. And
if you can build around his limitations, similar to, like, I want to say, he's not as good as, like, the Philly quarterback, but Philly's got similar limitations to his game. He can't pass over the middle. He's a good athlete. He can read a little bit of defense, but he's not going to read you like Tom Brady. If you create a situation and work on his strengths, like a total big running game, then yeah. But like I said, it is what it is. He's out, but it'd be nice for him to lose when he comes back to Chicago.
Shout out to King Booker where he said, I think Justin Fields banged all the women in Shady family. It seems personal to him. It does. It comes like he's got like vitriol to him. Like he's trash. It's like, to me.
Hey, I'm about to go real low with this one.
Uh-oh.
It reminds me of when old boy with LeBron's mom in Cleveland. That's what it reminds me of.
What's his name?
The hate. The hate.
What's that dude? The little light-skinned cat.
Delonte, right?
Delonte West.
Yes, that's what reminds me of. That's what reminds me of the hate that he has for Justin Fields.
I think that it would be nice. Okay, what we know for any quarterback to succeed is you need stability. So if he was to come back another year in Arthur Smith's system, I think Arthur Smith has a comparable system. I mean, the thing is like the knock even with the Steelers, not to necessarily get off of this whole subject, but the knock with the Steelers is that they need more help. It's not just all on the quarterback. You got to get a better line, got to get a better running game. You're leaning on Pickens too much, and the defense is not that great, So, for the most part, it would be interesting to see Fields come back this year, and our team is actually ready to go with a real offense. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, outside of those three, I mean, you got anything else to add to the coaches in terms of what they speaking today?
No, not really. We got like I said, we just got a good positive staff, and I'm just looking forward to seeing them put it all together and see what kind of game plans they got going on.
Oh, I saw somebody else in the chat. Rayco said the coaching staff is the best we've had on paper since 2010. I'm going to go out and say this is the best staff we've ever had, outside of. I mean, if you count the 90s, the 85 Bears is 85 Bears. I mean, Buddy Ryan was so good as a DC with all that talent. It is what it is. But technically, this is probably the best on paper that we've ever seen. Because Lovey's squad, 2010 was what? Was that Mike Martz? We went to the NFC Championship and lost to the Packers that year. Whose mic is off? My mic or Drew's mic?
I don't know. I can hear myself on there pretty good.
I think my mic is working. I think we're okay.
It's all working over here. So, I don't know. Maybe we need to turn your volume a little bit.
But anyways, I'm trying to say, I think that he's saying, am I – who's skinny?
Guy.
Me?
Right. Skinny guy.
Oh, Drew.
Skinny. I don't know how 225 is skinny, but okay, bro.
I don't know who's skinny.
Okay.
I think I'm skinny. I'm not that fat,
Right,
by the way, we got 200 in the chat and 300 in the chat. 200, and 300. Shout out to you guys for rocking with us. Yeah, they said your mic was a little off, but
I hear him pretty good, but
So while we're at, we might as well train. I think this is going to take up the rest of the show as we have a discussion about rebuilding the offensive line. And I don't know if you guys have been rocking with. If you've heard me, you know what I want. I want people movers, okay? I want guys that are going to sit there and push people out the way, create lanes for my running backs to run, and I want protection for my quarterback to sit there. I want him to be able to put a Keurig in the back, get him some coffee, and sip it, and then throw that ball out when he needs to. I want some protection. So with that being said, I got an idea of what I personally would like. I mean,
you want
Drew,
some dogs.
He definitely wants some dogs. I know let me pull this up. So I was working on something. This is I think Drew, feel free to comment about how you would like to build your squad. But for me,
we're gonna tear yours down first.
What? Huh?
We're gonna tear yours down first.
Tear mine down. So this is what I was thinking, fellas. Okay, and Breeze Nation, look, this is all perspective. This is just conversation. But I personally would like us to draft Kelvin Banks Jr. as the left tackle. Now I fixed my left tackle. Okay. The thing is that in free agency, we have to get Trey Smith or a comparable guard of that ilk, but I don't know if we're going to get that. I think we have to re-sign Tevin Jenkins. Now, hear me out. Incentive-based contract, maybe a base salary of $10 million or whatever like that, and then he's kicked up to, incentives if he plays so many games. I'd like to draft Jake Majors, but there's a caveat to that. I want to sign a bridge center, but Jake Majors or a comparable center in the second round that's my future center, okay? And so I figured that I was thinking about Campbell, right? Will Campbell. I mean, if he can play left tackle, great, but he seems more like a left guard. You get Kelvin Banks, who is rated, pretty much was rated number one as the best left tackle. I'm not interested. I mean, I get it. We're going to draft in the second and third rounds, fourth rounds, and get a lot of guys that are good up-and-coming tackles or guards. But guess what? You have instant line right now, and then you draft your future. So let's just say Tevin Jenkins does get hurt or whatever, but you got guys that you can bring up.
Let me ask you a question based upon that. are you willing? Because usually your first and second rounds are immediate starters. Are you willing to waste a second round pick on a non-starter?
No, because he's my future. The thing is, he's a bridge. And a lot of times they say that you don't. It's harder to start rookie centers.
I agree.
So even if you're still creating depth, because you know what, this isn't like a quarterback. When they say you have more than one quarterback, then you have no quarterback. No, when you have more linemen, you have more linemen.
I know, because lineman is going to get hurt, as you can see with Jenkins being out, and even our left tackle being out, and even Darnell Wright missing out on some games, and day-to-day no-play Davis, you know how bad he was.
So,
but
you use this draft to.
I know, but let me finish my point though. If you draft a center in the second round, I wouldn't do second round. If I'm a draft a center to sit, then I'm gonna wait to the third round then, because that way he gets to learn.
If he ends, the thing is you're not losing. The point is that if you draft him in the second round, he's going to be your starter. This is an eventuality. And the thing is, if you sign a guy like a Drew Dahlman, I think, or even Ryan Kelly, someone that he could possibly play both any positions, you still need to build up depth. We had no depth. The minute that you knew when the starter wasn't in on our offensive line, it was average at best, and it got worse really bad. So to me, you get a big boy like Kelvin Banks. Now I got my left tackle who's starting right now. I don't want to start 3 rookies on the offensive line.
Agreed.
And if you have Tevin Jenkins, yeah, but when he's healthy and he's there, he played 14 games. Did he finish all of them? Not necessarily. But he played a lot of games. And when healthy, along with the confidence, I think if you have other good players around you, it helps you get better.
It does. Because it allows you to be consistent's not the word, but it's a word when you start to play next to somebody. Symmetry. That's the word.
Yeah.
So you get a little symmetry on the line, and then that's better.
But this is my thing, man. Tevin Jenkins is a walking refrigerator. That is a big dude. You get another big dude in Kelvin Banks Jr. Majors looks like he's a nice size, center. Trey Smith, Darnell Wright. We have some big linemen.
Athletic.
The
right side would be definitely athletic.
But just like seeing that magic of when Jenkins was playing next to Darnell Wright and the holes that they were able to create and the lanes they were able to create for our running game, to be able to, if Trey Smith if we're able to sign him, and from what you're hearing, there's little reports out there that the Bears are actually could possibly get this guy. He might cost $20-25 million though.
That's a lot.
It is a lot, but that's what happens. You got to pay, but we have to get depth and quality. Yeah, I'm seeing some, and see that's the thing. As I'm talking to Breeze Nation, look, my thing is it's an immediate situation. You fix a situation with signing Tevin Jenkins allows you a stopgap, because if he does in the eventuality of getting hurt, that's the whole point of drafting in the second, the third, the fourth. That's the whole point if Ian Cunningham leaves and we get an extra third-round pick. There's your starting eventual replacement. You're going to eventually start that center in Jake Majors. But guess what? Your line, we're creating depth that we need. Even what the Lions did, they had at least a rotation of 3 other guys.
Yeah, they had the guy that they turned into being double-teamed tackle.
Yeah.
But for me, I agree with your list in some parts. Like Banks, I like that. But I'm thinking about moving, and I'm off kilter with this a little bit. I want to move our tackle to guard.
You want to move Braxton?
I want to move Braxton to guard because
he's not good.
But he's better. To me, he'd be better. He'd be better in a confined situation more than on the island by himself. Because on the island by himself, his footwork, he has to get out there to that speed rush, and that's when he gets bull rushed. If he's more inside, he's got an extra step to me, because those guys don't go as wide when they're coming against the guard. It's more, like I said, more of a confined setting. So I think we can move Braxton to guard, and he's going to play a little bit better. I'm more or less trying to find. I haven't looked at the free agents, but I want to get a bridge center like you. But I'm going to wait until the third round to draft, my center. Third or fourth round to draft my center, because they got to learn. They got to get up to NFL speed. That's going to take at least a year or 2.
But I'm rolling with Brandon. Brandon Jennings. She said he's too skinny and doesn't get low enough to be guard. He's not good. He doesn't handle a bull rush well. So if now
So he's
you
going to be a
put him
swing
against,
tackle?
but the thing is, as a tackle, when you come up and you're blocking and you're trying to, he can't even stop the guy. I mean, he literally gets pushed into the quarterback.
Which I
so
said
now
the
you
bull
gotta,
rush. But that's
that's just regular pass rush. And then even on the interior. So now you put a guy that's lower to the center. Now you got a defensive tackle that's going to come up and knock him off his square. He's not that good, man. He's really a swing tackle. He's serviceable when someone else goes down or he has to do spot duty. There's times where he's blocked well in the run game. We've seen him do a pancake here or there. That's good. He's not a starting offensive lineman to me.
But then if you do that, then you're spending more money in free agency, or you're going, like you said, with what you didn't want, which is 3 rookies on your offensive line behind the quarterback. Because if you don't move Braxton, then you have to fill left tackle, guard, center, and right guard. So you have basically 4 positions open in this one year. Yeah, because only person now you have that we have now is right. So that means you have to fill 4 positions. So you're going to get one in free agents. That means you're filling 3 positions in the draft.
Right. No.
That's a lot.
No, that's why I'm saying you got to re-sign Tevin. When healthy, he's still a dominant player. If you take with the 10th pick, you got your starting left tackle and Kelvin Banks. I'm done now. I got my starter day 1 done. Book it. Now you got Jenkins and Smith if you sign both of them. So you still got to draft your center. So now you got a young guy. Now in the rest of the draft, if you want to draft for depth or future replacements for Tevin, Smith is probably going to be here for another, a 5-year situation, and Tevin Jenkins might get a 2 or 3 year type of deal. He has to keep earning it because he doesn't stay healthy.
I don't know.
But it doesn't cap strap him.
He's supposedly going to San Francisco and on Jenkins. He's been rumored to go to San Fran.
I mean, it's all rumors until they actually say, no, we need you to be here because we're building something special. I think that if he's leaving to go to San Francisco and get some money, I think that means that somebody's going to want him. But I don't like Braxton Jones as my starting left tackle.
Oh, I agree. I don't like him because I've seen him, like you said, seen him get bull rush way too much for him to be our left tackle.
DF says, bro, give up on Jenkins' deal. He never plays, bro. Look, D, I understand you, bro. I'm saying that when he's there and healthy, if you can get him on a cheap deal or a decent deal that doesn't kill the squad, cool. Otherwise, okay, fine. Who's another comparable free agent guard out there? Outside of Trey Smith, it drops.
It does. That's why I say that
it drops.
That's why I say we're not going to – I don't believe we're going to be able to get, 2 free agents.
Okay, how about this?
So that's why I said we're not going to get 2 free agents. We're only going to get 1.
But see, look, to me, this line is ready to start and looks pretty good. And now mind you, Tevin goes down. That's where your depth comes in. That's where your swing center comes in if you end up starting Jake Majors. Or the other center that I'm hearing is a pretty good center. But the idea is that you're drafting a center regardless. Does Karan Amageji get coached up and become a better offensive lineman?
He's got the same issues as Braxton, supposedly.
Right. So that's my issue. That's why you have to take Kelvin. Because if you take Campbell, you kind of move him. He becomes, okay, 2 scenarios. You take Campbell, you don't re-sign Jenkins. You still got to sign Smith. So you got Campbell as your left guard, Majors or a starting center, a rookie center as your center, right? Wright and Smith. So who's your left tackle? You still want to go out there and trot out Braxton Jones?
No, that's what I said. I'm moving Braxton or Karan to guard.
Mm-hmm.
And then, therefore, I'm only having to get 2 rookies and sign 1 free agent.
Yeah. I think that the aspect of, one, getting another day 1 starter, I love the fact that Darnell Wright, top 10 pick. We get Banks Jr. as your left tackle. So the bookends are done. And, then again, there should be somebody that's going to come, that is going to, surprise some people in the draft, or maybe there's a diamond in the rough. We don't know. The coaching staff and the college, the scouts have to do a great job. They got to do their homework this draft because there's not a lot of guys. I mean, according to Fifth, they still have Braxton Jones like he's actually good, but he doesn't pass the eye test. And there's not a lot of guys that are actually going to be free agents that are really that of a comparable level. Brandon says he's saying what's my man Brandon saying? He's saying Mekhi Benton is a free agent. Sign that dude to be cheaper than Smith. Chris Rayco said, we have to give these tackles like Amageji some time. Penei Sewell has the similar stats to Braxton in the first 3 seasons, for Christ's sakes. You know, I was kind of excited. I was excited when we drafted Amageji because I knew we were getting a tackle. He was hurt. But again, that's the problem when you're drafting projects. Now he's under fire because he has to now play versus being coached up. And we also don't know what this coaching staff is going to do. You know, we're going to be so excited. Chicago's going to explode when we finally get an offensive line coach because they're going everybody's attention is about this offensive line because they're like, everybody's finally figuring out you got to fix the line.
Because we haven't had an offensive line since John Tate, Fred Miller, and all those boys.
Yeah, and they were all mainly free agents, and they only lasted a couple of years. Tate, that's the thing, man. Tate, we get Cutler, and Tate retired when Cutler got here.
And he got smacked up
and he
down.
got killed after that. Like, it sucks. But, again, when you pay for your errors in the draft and free agency, when you don't get it done. I mean, hey, I hope that Amagaji's not a bust. But either way, I'm not looking at Amagaji as one of my
You can't say
starters.
he's a bust. You can't say he's a bust.
That's what
he's only played in 2 games. He did look bad, but he only played in 2 games.
Wait, wasn't Penei Sewell like a top pick?
He was a top 10 pick.
I thought he was a top 10 pick. Some guys, yes. Does it take a while? But you know what? We have a system in place where it should work. LBC Robbie says he thinks the Banks kid is top heavy. I'm sure it can be fixed, but I don't know if it'll affect his draft position. He's the number 1 rated tackle. He was number 1 before he even talked about Will Campbell. So, you know, to me, I would rather get the best guy available. I'm happy if it's either Kelvin Banks Jr. or Will Campbell. Whoever's not injured is fine with me. Everybody talks about Josh Simmons, and that's cool, but it's too important right now to take another project. We can't take another guy that came in here. Amagaji's hurt. So he can't. What do they say? Availability is the
best availability.
Is the best ability, right?
Right.
So
I agree with you. Like you want Will Campbell because he's such an athlete, but he's got some deficiencies like his arm length. Where he said he's better at guard. So like you said, I don't want to force a projected guard at tackle. I want somebody like you said that's going to be built for the tackle for the long run.
Yeah, but you just talked about you want to move Braxton. I forgot. I got to put my GM hat.
Yeah, but
on.
I said that's why
on.
I said I'm willing to move him to guard. I don't want him at tackle.
He's not.
To me, when the 3 in the middle, they all help each other. When the book ends, you got to be great by yourself. Braxton's not great by himself. That's why I say stick him in the middle. The center can help him when you get a quality center. Because you see so many double teams happening. Better, and you got your weaker offensive linemen. Sometimes that's why they moved over to guard. Because they don't have the speed to be on the island by themselves.
Yeah, the thing is that he doesn't do well with the bull rush. So he's going to get more of it because it's lower center of gravity. It's more of it. The issue is that
I think
our center was getting blown up.
If you look at when you look at when the defensive end comes off to the bull rush, there is a bigger space in between the D end when he gets to the lineman, because the lineman on pass plays is backing up. So when you play guard, that space is a little bit shorter, even though the defensive tackles are shorter and they have more girth and are able to push underneath the pad level.
Yeah.
It's not, they don't have as much of a speed, a time to gain speed and gain leverage. That's why I say I think he could benefit in moving to guard.
But he's too, I hear you, but you've been championing him to be a guard for a while. I just think that he won't do that well because the thing is, you've seen stuff where this dude literally just, he's whiffed on blocks. He hasn't hit people at times. He's got
that's all in space.
Literally
that's
pushed.
What I say. Eliminate the space.
But the thing is, the dude's still getting pushed into the goddamn quarterback. Like he's getting punked out there at times.
That's why
he's not a good pass blocker.
Because I would doubt we'd be able to get 2 free agents and sign 2 quality linemen.
That's why
I said you got to keep one just for a year until you can retool. Because best case scenario, you get 4 new guys to go with right and everything works, whether it's free agency or draft. But it's really hard to get 4 because if you look at The Jets tried to get 4. It didn't work. Cincinnati tried to get 4. It didn't work.
That's why.
So that's why I said you got to get like a couple.
You see the GM hat, baby. I've been trying to fix this squad for years. I said get my Hall, get my line. I want it all. Okay, we can't get all. Give me Jared Verse. The guys I want, they're not getting the guys I want. We get Banks. I trust Jenkins for a few games because at least I know I got a starter. And then if I have the sum of the parts is better. We get our center fixed. So now we're not starting. We only started 2 rookies. If anything, we're only starting 1 rookie. You got to get an experienced guard. And now we're good. So the thing is we don't know what the scouting is going to be. It may not even be that we get Trey Smith, but we're definitely getting somebody. Crimson, I promise you, we are literally we finally got a merch vendor. We're working on getting our stuff, and I'm hoping maybe in the next few weeks, if not month, we might finally be able to get some merch going. We are actually working on it. I appreciate that, and I have GM hats being made. I promise you. And so you'll be one of the first ones to know. And appreciate the support, by the way. I thank you for that. It was a play on something. You know what I'm saying? Like you get your GM hat. I love being the GM. Anybody ever play like the Ultimate Football GM?
No, that's just you.
I am addicted to that game. I have reached. I think I'm Icon or Goat, whatever. I think I'm at Goat status, by the way. Love that game. But I think that overall, I don't want to start a bunch of rookies, and I think this you're only starting maybe really if you sign your bridge center until Majors or whoever we get comparable is the eventual replacement. You're only starting technically one rookie, and so you keep Braxton as depth. And actually, no, if I'm correct, Braxton's contract is coming up pretty soon.
That's what I say. You because you're not gonna cut him. You always need the bridge guy. So that's what it says. Either put him as a backup, which he's a serviceable backup, definitely a serviceable backup.
He's a swing tackle, but he's not a starting guard.
No, he's a serviceable backup. But like I said, if you had to keep him, like I said, worst case scenario, you move him to guard because you can't get 2 and 2.
This is
but if you can, hey, give me 4 quality guys, and I'll take that. But this is like worst case scenario in my book.
So, who was that? I just saw a comment. Rayco, what'd you say? Braxton, Tevin, doable. Chris wanted to fix. He says Braxton left tackle for now. Tevin or Pryor at left guard, a free agent center, a rookie right guard, and right at right tackle. So, are you saying, Chris, that you want to draft? So you're thinking maybe like Campbell at 10, and so because you're keeping Pryor, and you're signing everybody, I'm seeing so. I can see that Amagaji is the next Braxton Jones of a swing tackle because Braxton this is his last year. Now, and he's about to make $3 million this year. They gave him a proven performance escalator clause. So he went from making like $700,000, $985,000 last year to $3 million this year. He's got a big escalator clause. Ooh. So after that, are you going now? He's going to want if he resigns thinking he's worth some money. He's going to command what, $10 million?
No, Is
he going to command more than that?
He's going to command more than that with the tackles because you're paying 15, 20. You're paying $20 million for guards.
He's going to print that PFF stuff off. Hey, this says I'm worth.
Right.
This says I'm the best.
Right. I'm more than average. I'm better than average.
PFF about to get that man paid because I'm like, well, the paper says it, but my eye doesn't.
Oh yeah.
No, I think that Amagaji ends up becoming our swing tackle for the future.
Either one, because they both built the same. They both got pancaked. So either one.
Give me some people movers. I want people movers.
People movers. Yeah, you want those guys. There's bulldozers. Yeah. You want the Philly line here.
In general, you just want all the teams that have good lines do well. I mean, Kansas City, San Francisco, Buffalo, like. That is the foundation. I mean, even with Ben Johnson, the man said, like, you got to establish a run game. You got to get the offensive line. Like, as much as it's a quarterback league, it's still balance. You need the balance regardless. Like, I mean, it could swing 60-40 pass, but you still got 40% is still a lot, and you got to get a line to be able to create. You got to create a diversion. So when you want to do play action, when you want to be able to have an offense out there where your quarterback is – that was my whole thing about signing Saquon. I wanted Saquon. I mean, when we signed Pat's favorite running back, my thing was like he can catch the ball, and I didn't want necessarily him, but he was a Pro Bowler. But the idea was that when he's back there, he's a solid every down back, and that he creates a diversion. Bears fans, Breeze Nation fans, y'all remember anytime we get the gadget guy in the backfield, that dude's about to get the ball. Devin Hester's back there. Garrett Wolf, the little gadget, the little midgy.
Oh
tricky.
yeah, what was that other guy? We had another skinny guy that was like 5'8". I mean, like 5'5". That was
Tariq Cohen.
Tariq Cohen. That's it.
Like Matt Forte was probably the last every down back that we had that was solid. He could catch the ball. He could run. He didn't have necessarily breakaway, home run hit speed, but the man could catch the ball. He was dangerous. He was Marshall Faulk light.
And I see honestly why they drafted him. I'm not drafted him. Why they signed Swift in free agency, because for a rookie quarterback, sometimes he knew the line was bad. You need a guy that can catch the dude dump off. He was supposed to be the check down back 24/7.
Yeah.
And they through play calling, through coaching and this, that, and the other, they didn't use him right. So I think that's the reason why they drafted, why they got to sign him a free agent for that particular reason. So if you didn't use him and that reason, then he sucked, which is why he only had a few good 100-yard games, and and that forth, and that everybody think he was a waste.
But what happened when the thing is, even with him, if you open up some lanes for the dude and he saw it right, he was doing something. If you gave him some time, or he was a safety blanket for the quarterback, the thing is, this coaching staff was going to possibly use him better. I think the feeling out there is that they may draft a running back, period, and then do another tandem where now it's a new running back, and then you're spelling him with Swift, or you're using Swift as another weapon. He's still, to me, dangerous that you could use, but we'll see. So again, Breeze Nation, appreciate you guys being with us, man. As we're getting ready to close this show out.
Appreciate rocking with us.
You put the likes up, man. We, like I said, we just got the 45,000. I really appreciate that, man. This is we appreciate the support with that. Actually, real quick, I got to do a shameless plug, man, for Super Bowl party. You guys, if you guys are out and about, and you happen to be out in like Homewood, Country Club Hills area, I'm hosting a little Super Bowl party with DJing. Come on out, man. Free food until it's exhausted. You got some drink specials, things of that nature. But let's see the Eagles hopefully beat the cheating Chiefs, as they bring their refs.
Nope. You're going to get KC taking it out.
But you can call if we have any more VIP sections left or for booths, you call the number below, 708-914-4929. Come on out, man. Have a good time. I do my thing on the ones and twos. We watch the game. And if you've ever been to any of my Super Bowl parties, we have a pretty good time. And I try to turn it up. But on behalf of my man Drew, I'm super producer Joel Holt. Appreciate you guys rocking with us. We'll see you guys hopefully on Monday, maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure. By the way, shout out to our boy Pat. Our future, my nephew just came home today. Our future Breeze running back.
Yes, sir.
Actually came home today, which is why Pat couldn't join us. And so we're proud of him and his wife, as well as Aria. And so happy for him as they bring the little guy home. So you guys have a good night. Stay safe out there, and bear down.
One love.
One love. Now I got to find my outro. God dang, I got to sit here and run all this stuff. Appreciate you guys for rocking with us, man. Take care, guys. Swift had 1,000 yards this season. I didn't even check that out, man. They
That's what I say.
He works. Oh, let me put it back on. Sorry, we're still closing out. Bring it back up. Yeah, anyways, as we close out on that. One love. We got one life. Let me see. In that. All right, y'all. Y'all be safe.